Hi, everybody. Today I'd like to talk about Triumph. Triumph is a motorcycle. Yes, but it's also a very famous verse in the Bible. In 2 Corinthians 2:14, we read, "Now thanks be to God who always leads us in triumph in Christ, and through us diffuses the fragrance of his knowledge in every place. For we are to God the fragrance of Christ among those who are being saved and among those who are perishing. To the one, we are the aroma of death leading to death, and to the other, the aroma of life leading to life. And who is sufficient for these things?" I want to talk to you a little bit about the word triumph, because we think we know what it means, but it has a very specific meaning to Paul when he wrote this, because Paul was a Roman, and there's such a thing as a Roman triumph. You can look this up on the internet. What happens was a general would go out and fight a battle for the Roman army, and he would come back, and if his victory was a good enough victory, they would debate it in the Senate, and the Senate would determine if it was indeed qualified to be a triumph. And if it was a triumph, then they had a huge festival and a party. Okay, I'm going to read from here for you a little bit. A triumph in ancient Rome was a grand public celebration and religious ceremony held to honor a victorious military commander. It was considered the highest honor a Roman aristocrat could achieve, marking the pinnacle of their career. And the requirements was that you had to be a military commander that was independent. You could not be working. You could not be like a lieutenant working for a general. You had to be the general. The victory had to be a major land or sea battle against a foreign enemy. The commander had to kill at least 5,000 enemy soldiers and end the war. And they would take this before the Senate and debate all the different things, whether it was good enough. If it wasn't good enough, it was just a smaller victory. It was called an ovation. But we're talking about triumph here, which is the bigger thing. And if somebody was deemed a major victory, not just a skirmish, and it had to end the war, there had to be approval of the Senate and absence of controversy. It could not be, there could not be allegations of misconduct or, and if they did deem it to be a triumph, the commander, the general, would wait outside the city of Rome, and they would prepare for it. It would be a big feast day. And they would have games like throwing ball kind of games, and they would have barbecues and public food and singing and dancing and drinking, a lot of drinking probably in Rome, as well as orgies and stuff like that because it was pagan. But then the commander would ride on a chariot, and I think they also they put gold leaf on the chariot, or it was a special chariot that was all gold. They would take his chariot through the streets of Rome, and it would be pulled by prisoners of war from the conquered people, and they would be naked and they would be whipped as they were pulling his chariot all through Rome, And people would also the kids would go out and throw things at the soldiers and jeer at them and all this. And they would end up going to the temple of Jupiter, and they would carry his chariot up the stairs to the very top where the emperor was seated. And the general would get out of his chariot and stand next to the emperor for the whole day. He would be the second most important person in the whole empire for that day. Now we know that Jesus, when he ascended on high, he sat down at the right hand of God the Father. He didn't stand. But it talks about Jesus leading us in triumph. And here's another part I want to read to you, the part about the fragrance of his knowledge in every place. It's the aroma of death leading to death for those who are not saved, and the aroma of life leading to life. See, what they did in those days is they barbecued, and what they barbecued was often prisoners of war. So if you were one of the prisoners of war pulling this chariot through Rome, you would be smelling the barbecue of your countrymen as you went forward, knowing that you would end up being barbecued also. So it was the aroma of death leading to death. And to the people who were victorious, it was the aroma of life leading to life. I don't know if they actually ate the people they barbecued, but they did burn people alive. And maybe they ate them, but they certainly smelled them burning. And it was the aroma of life leading to life for the victorious Romans. So next time you hear the word triumph, understand it's one of those words that have a very specific ancient meaning, and it's very, very interesting detail in the Bible. Okay, bye for now.